Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Really excited to see you all again. Onward with our Linux journey. And like I mentioned before, this skill is very critical and it served me very well in my career as an engineer. In today's video, we're gonna build on ideas and concepts that we've learned in the past. You're gonna learn all about moving files and directories. And might I add, there's another special function when we learn about moving files and directories that you're also going to learn about today. Now remember, if this is your first time watching the video, make sure you go ahead and check out the description, as there's going to be all the information that you're going to need in order to be up to date up until this point. So if you're not up to date, it can be very easy to get lost. So make sure you check out the description for all the latest information.
How do we go about moving files or moving directories? There's also another benefit of moving, and we'll talk about that in a second. So let's work with moving files. And it's no secret here, we use the mv command or the move command. And let's say, as an example, we are interested in moving the myfile.txt, and we want to move it over into our my directory, which is a directory we created from past examples. You can always go to the man page and look at man and go to the move command. And you can see here that it moves files, but also another cool feature, which we just see in the manual, is that it also renames files. So again, in order to use this command, you have to use the move command, then you have to give it the options that it needs, and then followed by source and destination. So let's go ahead and quit out of this, and let's run that example of what we were interested in doing, which is moving the myfile.txt to the my directory. So I'm going to use move, and in this case, I'm not interested in giving it any options because we don't need to. And you learn that by reading the manual. And I'm going to say I want to move the myfile.txt, and I'm going to move that into the my directory. So let's go ahead and hit enter on this. And as you see here, the myfile.txt is no longer here. It is actually in the my directory. And how do we know that? Well, we can do an ls on the my directory, and we can see that the myfile.txt was moved into the directory using the move command. All right, awesome. So we just learned how to move files with the move command. How do we move directories? So let's do an ls here. And let's say we are interested in moving the downloads directory, and specifically the downloads to directory that we just created. How do we move it into the my directory that we created as well? And you can do that by using mv, and by reading the manual, you know that we don't necessarily need any options here, so we can just say downloads to, and we can move it into the my directory. So let's go and take a look at the my directory just to make sure that that directory is in there. So I can do an ls on my directory, and we can see that we moved the directory, which is downloads to, and also as well from our previous example, the myfile.txt is also in there. So if we run a ls on our current directory, which is our home directory, as we just explained, we see that the downloads to directory isn't there because it went into the my directory. So that's a little bit about how we move files and how we move directories.
Hey guys, quick pause. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you are enjoying the content and you find that it provides value, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out when we upload to the channel. Make sure to give me a like for the video as it helps the channel grow. Share the video with a family member or friend so that way they can learn all about engineering, tech, and finances. Also, leave me a comment. Do you guys have any questions on what you learned so far? I would love to hear from you. So let's head back to the content.
Now we just saw in the man pages that we can actually use the move command in order to rename file and directories. So that's pretty cool. Let's actually do that and see how that works. So let's go into our my directory. Let's do an ls in there, and we see that we have the downloads to that we just moved, and we have the myfile.txt. So let's go ahead and work with the myfile.txt first. So we can go ahead and run the move command. We don't need any options for this, so we can leave the options alone. So we start with our first argument, which is the file itself. So let's go to myfile.txt. Then the second argument is the name in which we want to name it now. So I want to call it myfile3.txt. And if we do an ls, we see that myfile.txt was renamed to myfile3.txt. Same thing with the directories. We can use the move command in order to rename our directory. And in this case here, let's work with the downloads to directory, downloads to, and let's rename that to downloads 3. Downloads, and then of course 3. And by the way, I'm using tab completion, and I talked about this in a prior video, so go ahead and check that out if you don't understand what I mean by tab completion. But I'm using tab completion in order to fill out the argument very, very quickly. And then of course, just backspace for what I need. So in this case, just replacing the 2 with a 3. So let's go ahead and run that command, and let's do an ls again. And we see here that we have now the directory is called downloads 3. And this shows us how we rename files and directories. So that's awesome.
So welcome back, everyone. By now you should have all the information that you need in order to move files and directories. And we just learned that move allows us to also rename files and directories. Now keep practicing this skill you just learned. And of course, it seems very difficult at first, but once you get a couple of tries under your belt, it becomes very, very easy and very natural afterwards. Now, if you have any additional questions or something wasn't clear to you, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. As always, make sure you check out the description. That is where you will find all the latest and greatest information. If you love the video, go ahead and give me a like for the video to make sure you don't miss out on all the things that we talk about when it comes to engineering, tech, and finances. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you get notified whenever we upload new videos to the channel. And lastly, share the video with a family member or friend so that way we can kick off their journey and they can learn all things engineering, tech, and finances. So I'll see you guys in the next video.